Talking about a revolution sounds. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds like a whisper. While they're scanning the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the unformed lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds. Who are people gonna rise up, get their share? Who are people gonna rise up, take what's there? Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. It's finally the tables are starting to turn. It's finally the tables are starting to turn. It's finally the tables are starting to turn. It's finally the tables are starting.
Yes, don't you know we're talking about a revolution? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Smokin Joe Mekhael, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are the revolution. It is Tuesday, the 6th day of May 2014, and this is the very first episode of the Revolutionary Nightly News. Now, this project is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I felt that the urge has been there, and I felt that it's really my destiny to go down this path. But for this first episode, I'm going to give you some background on myself, so you understand where I'm coming from, and I want to make a few things clear. Now, I first found out about a malevolent government, corporate, financial oligarchy that was controlling the world at a pretty young age. I remember what happened with September 11, and I thought that those things didn't add up. I was in my last year of high school when that happened. And then I went to university and I did a Bachelor of Criminology, and it really struck me in the degree how so many people there, and so many of the lecturers, police officers and former police, how many of them had an attitude that the general public were just scum who deserved to be dominated and who deserved to be subjugated and manipulated. And it made me feel really sick. And when I finished that degree, when I graduated, the last thing that I wanted to do was work for an organization which was so incredibly corrupt and immoral as the police. It's a culture of corruption. When I was at university, I had the most moving and the most important experience that I've ever had in my life. I was 18 years old and I'm 29 years old now. Still look pretty good. And when I was 18, I had this experience. I used to deliver pizza for the local pizza shop. And one night, it was a Saturday night, I got the last delivery of the night. I went to this block of flats in Maryland's near where I live, this block of apartments. And I went up and I knocked on the door, and a woman answered from behind the door. She didn't open it. She said, "Who is it?" I said, "Your pizza's here." She said, "We didn't order a pizza." I said, "Is this so-and-so Newman Street?" She said, "Yes. We didn't order a pizza." I said, "Fine." So I went back down towards the car. I went to open the door of the car. I heard something behind me. I turned around and there's a guy coming out of the bushes with a balaclava pointing a gun at me. He says, "Give me your money. Give me your money. Drop your bum bag. I'm going to kill you." I had just a second to think. And I said, "Bring it on." And so he took a knife out of his pocket and he started running at me with the gun in this hand and the knife in this hand. Just swinging like that. I got hit up there with the gun, cut up there, lost about 4 teeth, cut up there. We ended up fighting, and he was a little bit shorter than I was. I ended up having him by his wrists up against the brick wall, kneeing him in the balls as hard as I could, yelling, "Help, help, someone come help." No one was coming. This guy said to me, "Please let me go. I'm sorry I tried to rob you. Let me go and you'll never see me again." I kept kneeing him in the balls, screaming, "Someone come help." Eventually he said to me, "I swear if you let me go, I will just run away." And so I pushed him, and he was about 2 meters away from me. He said, "I need that money, man." I said, "You'd better get out of here." He said, "I'm taking your car then." So he ran, opened the door of the car, ran after him, and he just ran away. When I tell that story to people, they say, "How much money did you have on you?" Like, why didn't you give him the money? That was not worth your life. And the way that I feel about it, it's best surmised in 2 quotes. One from Tupac, who said, "I'd rather die like a man than live like a coward." And the second is from Shakespeare, who said, "Cowards die 1,000 deaths, but the valiant die but once." Now, the context in which, those quotes relate to that is, if I had given up to that dude, if I had given him my money, if I had given up, then every time that I would tell that story, if I even would tell it, it's pretty embarrassing. If every time that I would even think about that situation, I would be depressed. I would feel like a coward. I would die 1,000 deaths, so to speak. Because I know in my heart that the right thing to do when someone confronts you is to stand your ground. The right thing to do when you're under attack is not to give an inch. The right thing to do is fight until it's over. And this is the same context that I see the New World Order, the Illuminati. They've got the weapons. They've got the guns, they've got the soldiers, they've got the television, they've got the propaganda, they control a lot of the food, the water. It would seem that we're outgunned and we're outnumbered. But I'm making a declaration right now on the graves of my ancestors and to you. I swear that I am going to fight until we win. And I'm being 100% serious. I might die in the process, but I'm not going to stop until we are victorious. I got a little bit excited, a little bit sidetracked from originally where I was going. So that happened to me, and that was the most empowering experience of my life. I felt like I was bulletproof. And I finished university, like I said, and I couldn't work for the police with a good conscience because I knew how corrupt they were. So I started working for financial institutions. I worked for a debt collector agency. It was disgusting. I was in a call center harassing people who didn't make their credit card payments or their personal loan payments to pay their debts after their debts had been passed on to this collection agency. And I couldn't handle that. That was insane. Not only having to suit up in a suit and tie every morning and catch the train for an hour to go to work, something that I hated, it was really subjugating people, and I didn't want to do that. My next job was something similar. I was working for a bank in town, and then after that I worked for an investment bank. And in 2008, when the financial panic of 2008 happened, that was a seminal moment in my life because it really helped me to understand more about the system that controls the world. Now, when there were those financial troubles in 2008, I remember working for this investment bank, and I was working in the call center once again, and there was a story on some ridiculous current affairs show on television how one of the investment options for this investment bank was in trouble and, people should get out of it. So the next day at work, we had the busiest day we'd ever had, where people were calling up and saying, I got $100,000 in that fund. I want to get it out. And I would, as the phone monkey, I would withdraw it for them. I got $1 million in this account. I want to get it out, and so on. The following morning, we had a meeting at work, and the boss said, look, if anyone calls up and says they want to withdraw their money from this fund, you got to tell them that it's frozen. Now imagine what your state of mind would be if you had a large amount of money, in some cases more than $1 million invested with someone, and they told you couldn't access that money. Well, that got me to start researching the global banking system, and I found out that this is written into all bank contracts. If there's trouble in the market, or if there's a natural disaster, or if the stock market crashes, they don't have to give you your money. And we've seen other examples of this in the European Union, in Cyprus especially, where people had funds taken out of their bank account straight up. And this was messing with me, so I really couldn't do that either. And when I was 24 years old, I suppose when I was 23, I made the decision to get out of it, and I wanted to do something that I really enjoyed. So I really loved the party scene at that time, and I loved the music, so I said, I'm going to be a DJ. And I'm not only going to be a DJ, I'm going to be a full-time DJ, and I'm going to dominate. And not only that, I had a vision for using the kudos, using the fame that I accumulate as a DJ to propel the revolution further. I had this vision more than 6 years ago now. And here we are, fulfilling that vision, you and I. And so I was really blessed. I really worked hard at it, and in less than a year, I was able to, I said to my boss, I got an opportunity to go DJ in Ibiza and in England. And I went to my boss and said, can I have a few months off? May I have a few months off, please? I'll come back. And they said no. So I said, woo! See you later. I quit. And that was, another seminal moment in my life, because I stopped doing what was immoral. I stopped doing what made me feel bad, and I did what my heart felt was right. And the rest has been, really great. I've been lucky enough to play more than 1,200 gigs all over Australia and in England and in Spain as well. And every single week, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, I get to do what I love, which is play music and go nuts in front of a crowd. And since I've taken this career path and been a DJ, my levels of activism have gone in waves. It's gone up and down because I've become frustrated and become angry, and at times I became depressed, and I thought, no one cares and no one really is going to do anything about it. I remember there was a time when I was so angry about the New World Order and the Illuminati that I wanted to scream from the rooftops about what was happening. I was very much in the Alex Jones vein of fire, and that's a good thing. But I got incredibly frustrated because I realized that not many people want to hear about it, and not many people want to even debate with you. And the people who do want to debate, sometimes you feel that they've got the complete wrong ideas, and then you just get into a waste of time arguing with people on Facebook who think that your views are wrong and you think that their views are wrong. And so about a year ago, well, more than that, when I broke the Guinness World Record for the longest DJ set in history for the second time, after I did that, I really felt empowered, and I took a step back from my online activism and, you know, telling people about these things to their faces, and really concentrated on myself. I learned a lot of time management techniques and a lot of meditation techniques and a lot of techniques that made me comfortable within myself and made me understand that I don't need to scream from the rooftops to win the revolution. I can put my message out there in a smarter way, in a more direct way, where you can look in my eyes and you know that I'm telling the truth, instead of typing away on a keyboard. So this is where we are. It's the year 2014, and I feel really happy and I feel really empowered because I see everywhere people are waking up to the corruption, people are waking up to the eugenics, to the depopulation, to the murder that these criminals in government are committing. One issue that really kind of helped things converge was a few months ago in New South Wales. There were laws, especially in Sydney, after 2 young men were killed in fights on the street, that there would be a 1:30 a.m. lockout and a 3 a.m. last drinks in certain regions of Sydney, King's Cross especially, pretty much the whole of the Sydney CBD. And some images you saw in the intro to this video were when I went to the Save Our Nightlife rally to fight and to save our nightlife and to really protest against the lockout laws. And that was the first time that I'd really spoken in front of a large group of people, and it was really empowering. And so now I'm here with you to launch the revolutionary nightly news. This isn't going to be pretty. This isn't going to be a slick, well-edited piece of production. But I tell you what, it's coming from the heart. I know that we're facing tyranny. I know that we're facing people who seek to kill a lot of the people on planet Earth. And I'm not going to stand for it. I am not going to allow future generations to live under a situation that's worse than 1984. And if you read their documents, they want a world where it's worse than 1984. I'm going to start by reading you some quotes by some prominent eugenicists. Starting with Sir David Attenborough. We all love this guy with the wonderful voice who narrates those beautiful documentaries. But he is in fact a eugenicist. In his own words, "We are a plague on the earth. It's coming home to roost over the next 50 years or so. It's not just climate change, it's sheer space, places to grow food for this enormous horde. Either we limit our population growth, or the natural world will do it for us. The natural world is doing it for us right now." Dave Foreman, the co-founder of Earth First, says, "We humans have become a disease, the human pox." Ted Turner, the founder of the Cartoon News Network, CNN, "A total world population of 250 to 300 million people, a 95% decline from present levels would be ideal." Did you hear that? The guy who founded CNN, who pumps out propaganda by the second, is telling you that a 95% decline from present population levels globally would be ideal. That means a lot of people are going to die, right? Makes you think about what other news comes out of that garbage factory, CNN. Bill Maher, this disgusting, weak puppet eugenicist. I'm pro-choice. I'm for assisted suicide. I'm for regular suicide. I'm for whatever gets the freeway moving. That's what I'm for. It's too crowded. The planet is too crowded and we need to promote death. This is what the television personalities are talking about. This is what these eugenicists want. They want death. They want you dead. I want you alive. I want you to thrive. I want you healthy. I want you strong. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood. All of our problems are the result of overbreeding among the working class. Again, Margaret Sanger. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is to kill it. Really? It's mercy to kill infants? I don't think so. I think it's merciful to protect the weak, to protect the innocent, to protect those who can't defend themselves. That's why I'm here! You understand me? I'm not mucking around. I'm here to save the world. David Brower, the first executive director of the Sierra Club. Childbearing should be a punishable crime against society unless the parents hold a government license. All potential parents should be required to use contraceptive chemicals, the government issuing antidotes to citizens chosen for childbearing. That makes me sick. John P. Holdren. This man is Barack Obama, that scumbag. Oh, Barack Obama's primary science advisor. He says a program of sterilizing women after their second or third child, despite the relatively greater difficulty of the operation than vasectomy, might be easier to implement than trying to sterilize men. The development of a long-term sterilizing capsule that could be implanted under the skin and removed when pregnancy is desired opens additional possibilities for coercive fertility control. The capsule could be implanted at puberty and might be removable with official permission for a limited number of births. This man is Yo Mama's primary science advisor. I'll tell you what, Obama, we see through your devilish, evil plot. I'm coming for you. What you gonna do when freedom runs wild on you? Thomas Ferguson, former official in the US State Department Office of Population Affairs. Should such an office really exist? What's the government's business? There is a single theme behind all our work. We must reduce population levels. Either governments do it our way, through nice, clean methods, or they will get the kinds of mess that we have in El Salvador, or in Iran, or in Beirut. Population is a political problem. Once population is out of control, it requires authoritarian government, even fascism, to reduce it. And Prince Philip, part of that royal family that has killed millions and millions and millions and millions, and still continues to kill to this day, millions of people all over the world. Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth II's husband and co-founder of the World Wildlife Fund. In the event that I am reincarnated, I would like to return as a deadly virus in order to contribute something to solve overpopulation. Tell you what, your family's already done a lot to kill a lot of people. But your time is running out. Your time is up. Our time is now. Can you feel it? Talking to you, can you feel that? You know that what I'm talking about is right. You know that the people who control the world don't have your best interests at heart. I really do. I really do. I really care about you. I really care about your kids. I really care about my kids that aren't born yet. I care about the future generations of the human race. I care about this planet. I care about the little animals. I care about the little fishes. I care about the little chickens. I just want to make the world a better place. These people, these politicians, these royals, these sycophant eugenicists don't want you to thrive. That's why we're under attack. We're under attack psychologically, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, biologically. We're under attack from all angles. The television puts out nothing but propaganda. There's genetically modified organisms. There are genetically modified organisms in the food supply. They cause cancer. All these mobile phones, all this Wi-Fi causes cancer. There are wars going on across the seas. Street soldiers killing the elderly. These wars are based on false flag attacks. 9/11 was a false flag attack. Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag attack. The Port Arthur massacre was a false flag attack. And people are waking up. They're not going to put up with it anymore. We're going to stand up, and this revolution is going to take down the machine. And we're going to put together something that's pure. I want people to be self-sufficient. I want people to grow their own food. I want people to filter their own water. Well, I really don't want them to have to filter it at all. I want people to educate their own children. I want people to work the land themselves. I want people to be strong, to be healthy. Now, we're only going to touch on one major topic today. Fluoride. Sodium fluoride. Yeah, you heard about this stuff? You know, they put it in the water on the Sydney Water website. It says that they put sodium fluoride in the water. Now, if you research sodium fluoride on the internet, there's so much disinformation, there's so much misinformation that's going to tell you that it helps people's teeth, but it doesn't help your teeth. It gives you cancer. It lowers IQ. It destroys teeth. It gives you dental fluorosis. But people are waking up. Let's have a look. We got some... Ladies and gentlemen, I've got some good news. Cairns, beautiful city. I played there a few times. In a rare decision, the Cairns Regional Council has voted to stop fluoridating its water supplies, calling the practice involuntary mass medication. The Queensland government last year changed the law to give councils control over fluoride policy. That's actually very good. Cairns Mayor Bob Manning. Bob Manning, I salute you. You are a true warrior for humanity. Much love, Mr. Manning. Mayor Manning says mass medication must not proceed without community consent. Damn straight. The move will save the council about $400,000 a year. See, they pay money to put toxic waste, sodium fluoride, sodium hexafluorosilicate, hydrofluorosilicic acid, and dozens of other compounds. Byron Bay! Woo! Never been to Byron Bay, but I really want to go. The pro-fluoride lobby lost the fight. thanks to the majority of the Byron City Council. I salute you, Byron City Council, that listened to the will of the people and rejected the pro-fluoride proposal. With the exception of a few stubborn sticklers, the council decided that it is simply not appropriate to forcibly medicate the public with chemicals derived from the waste of phosphate and fertilizer production, which have repeatedly been shown to lower IQ levels and cause hormone problems. We, the undersigned, are medical practitioners and health professionals who have concerns about the efficacy and safety of water fluoridation, read the official letter presented to the council in opposition to fluoride. It is imprudent to initiate further fluoridation of public water supplies until such time as modern data can either substantiate or refute the alleged benefits and the safety or otherwise is established. Lismore. Woo! Earlier this week, the Lismore City Council voted to scrap plans to add the chemical to its drinking water. A Ballina Shire councillor plans to take a similar motion, and the Byron Shire opted out of the scheme several years ago. All of you councilmen, all of you councilwomen, all of you people working at all levels of government, have the guts to stand up. You don't want your kids drinking this stuff. You know what it does. You know it causes defects. You know it causes cancer. You know it causes lower IQ. Do the right thing. Your future generations will thank you. If you do the wrong thing, if you allow this fluoridation to go on, you will be cursed. And you're cursing your own bloodline for the rest of eternity. Do the right thing. Another article about cans. In point of fact, fluoride causes more human cancer death and causes it faster than any other chemical. Dr. Dean Burke, PhD, 34 years at the National Cancer Institute. Let me repeat that for you. This man has been at the National Cancer Institute for 34 years. Dr. Dean Burke, PhD. He said, fluoride causes more human cancer and causes it faster than any other chemical. Why is it in the water? Why are they putting it in the water? You tell me. It's because they want you dead. They want you brain damaged. They want you stupid, so you can't fight back. But I know you're not stupid. I know you got fire in your belly. I know you got a heart that beats, pumps blood. I know you're not going to let this stand. I know we're on the same team. Europe. Fluoridated water almost completely banned in Europe now. Fluoridated water must be treated as a medicine and cannot be used to prepare foods. That is the decision of the European Court of Justice in a landmark case dealing with the classification and regulation of functional drinks in member states of the European Community. Israel, on July 29th, 2013. Opposition to the practice on the grounds that fluoride has adverse effects on the thyroid, brain and bones, and is an unethical form of mass medication appears to be growing. Yeah, of course it appears to be growing. Because you're waking up. We're all waking up. People aren't going to put up with this garbage anymore. We're going to take back our health, take back our dignity, take back our sovereignty. Here is the Harvard study, which is really a compilation of dozens of other studies. In a meta-analysis, in fact, researchers from Harvard School of Public Health. You ever heard of this school called Harvard? It's pretty prestigious. And China Medical University in Shenyang, for the first time, combined 27 studies and found strong indications that fluoride may adversely affect cognitive development in children. Based on the findings, the authors say that this risk should not be ignored, and that more research on fluoride's impact on the developing brain is warranted. And here is another article about the Harvard meta-analysis. detailing how fluoride increases autism and ADD. Oh, now they want all the kids to be diagnosed with ADD so they can put them on even more drugs to further destroy their minds. But we're not going to allow that to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I am dead serious. I am here to save the world. This is my destiny. I am not going to sit idly by when I know that there's poison in the water, when I know that there's poison in the food, when I know that there's poison in the air, when I know that there's poison coming out of the boxes that we stare into all day long. I'm taking a stand for freedom. I'm taking a stand for liberty. I'm taking a stand for you and your family and your kids. Have the courage, have the guts, have the honor, and stand with me. Spread this message. Start your own YouTube show. Write a blog. Start growing organic food. Well, I was about to wrap it up then, but I forgot one thing. I got to show you how I stop fluoride, because I don't want to be telling you all the bad things without offering you a solution. Woo! I'm not going to tell you about all the bad stuff without offering you a solution. This is a Pro Pure water filter I bought for a couple of $100. I researched what would filter out fluoride and the other heavy metals that they put in the water, and a reverse osmosis filter is going to cost a couple of $1,000. But this baby cost a couple of $100 on Infowars.com. I lost the lid. I left it behind at the club when I was doing my world record. I was in no state to remember really anything then, but do this for yourself. Do this for your family. Spend a couple of $100 and filter out the toxins that are causing brain damage, the toxins that are causing lower IQ. You're going to be doing yourself and your family a favor for years to come. Woo! Now there's fluoride in the water, but there is fluoride in the toothpaste. Ah, not my toothpaste. Thursday Plantation, Tea Tree, fluoride free. That is beautiful. I'm telling you, you'll feel so much better. Get those chemicals out of your body. Get a filter. Get fluoride free toothpaste. You'll thank me for it. Spend a few $100. Do your own research. Don't take what I'm saying for gospel. Do your own research. Understand there's a lot of government misinformation out there. But I'm being honest when I'm telling you that fluoride is bad for you. Please figure it out for yourself. Do your own research. Filter your water. I want you to be strong. I want you to be sharp so we can fight this. We can fight this together. Now, like I was saying, this isn't the most polished, this isn't the most eloquent, this isn't the most professional operation we got here, but it's honest. And I swear to you that I will do everything in my power to fight for you. What I'm doing is I'm writing the manifesto for a new political party here in Australia called Freedom. And it's going to espouse individual liberty, small government, and self-sufficiency. Freedom, peace, and love. I need your help. I need you to help me win the revolution. I know we're going to do it. I want you to spread this message. Start your own YouTube show. Write your own blog. Make a post on Facebook. Tweet. Instagram it. Get it out through every possible means. What's the point of wasting our time with ridiculous distractions? This is the most exciting time you could possibly hope to be alive. Future generations are going to remember us. as the ones who defeated the Illuminati, who defeated the New World Order, who defeated the eugenicists. Look into my eyes and understand that I am not joking. We're going to win this together. Viva la revolution! Woo!